Welcome to our next video lecture in the Smart Systems course. In this one, we're going to be talking about importing and exporting data to and from MATLAB and Simulink. So we've covered Simulink to a pretty good extent, and I hope you're starting to see what a powerful simulation tool this can be. You may want to do more advanced things, and ultimately we want to get Simulink to communicate with other platforms. So Simulink itself is kind of a self-contained system here. So ultimately we want to be able to get Simulink data to and from our MATLAB workspace, and then we'll use MATLAB as the language to communicate with our database and ultimately being able to push and pull data from Python. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to create a very simple Simulink model by going to my library browser. I'm going to go to the continuous category, and I'm going to grab a transfer function. So this transfer function model, we give it a gain. So the gain is basically if you put in an input, you multiply that input by this gain, and that gives you the output. We also want to give this transfer function a time constant. Let's give this 10 time units. So here we have a gain of 5 and an output of 10. So you should be familiar with these various source blocks. So if I go back to my library browser, I'm going to grab a source block here, and I'm just going to take the simplest source, this constant. So let's say that instead of setting this constant block within Simulink, I want to pull a variable from MATLAB. So I'm going to do something like, let's say that my transfer function model takes in heat as an input and it outputs temperature, let's say, of a building as its output. So this constant block, I'm going to call this my heat block. And instead of just giving it this numerical value within Simulink, you can actually type in a variable name here. So I'm going to call this little q for my heat value. Okay, so notice that this gives me a warning here, and it's saying this variable doesn't exist yet. What it's going to do, Simulink is going to pull the value of this variable from MATLAB, and specifically in something called the MATLAB workspace. So I'll get to that later, but for now I'll go ahead and connect this heat input to my process model. So now I can come here to my sinks block, and instead of just sending this to a scope, I'm going to get this to workspace block here. So this is called a to workspace block, and what Simulink will automatically do is it's going to take whatever data goes into this block and it's going to put it back into MATLAB, into our MATLAB workspace. So I'm going to give this a variable. So the variable, let's just call this T for temperature. And this is going to push data back out to our workspace block. So I'm going to go ahead and give this block a name. And let's say my time constant here is 5 time units. So I'm going to simulate out to if this is 5 seconds, I'll simulate out to a minute here and give my system a lot of time to get to steady state. I'll go ahead and save this, and you want to be mindful of where you're saving things in your folder. I'm just going to call this my heater model. Okay, so I've done all this in Simulink. I've built this very simple model that should be able to pull data from my MATLAB workspace, run the simulation, and then it's going to push all that data back out into my MATLAB workspace. So now we haven't dealt a lot with MATLAB itself at this point, so we're going to take that opportunity now. So just a quick orientation in MATLAB. Here we have our command window, and in this command window we can execute commands like one line at a time. Here this shows us the contents of our folder. So in our folder, we have this heater Simulink file, which we just barely created, and we don't have anything else. Then we also have this window that tells us what's in our workspace. So if I just assign a variable a equals 9, then that will appear in my workspace. So think of this workspace as like a temporary data storage place. As soon as I close MATLAB, everything in my workspace will disappear. So this is not long-term storage. This never gets written to a file unless you exclusively write a command to do so. I can also type in clear, and that will clear my workspace. If I type in CLC, that will clear my command window. Okay, so what we want to do, we actually want to create what's called an M file. So this is similar to a .py file in Python. So I would go here and I'm going to go edit. Let's just call this run sim. So this file is going to, I'm going to define a value for my input to my Simulink model, and I'm going to run my Simulink model, and then I'm going to pull my data out. So this file does not yet exist, so it pops up this little prompt, do you want to create this file? I click yes. So notice that it created this M file here in my current folder, and this is just the same as a Windows folder with your whole file pathway here. So what that did was it introduced a new window, this M file editor here, and it pushed my command window down here. So I can go in here into this M file editor, and here I can enter in a series of commands. This is basically the program that you're writing. So I want to do something like, say, my Q is equal to 5. So remember, this is my heat. So once that command runs, this Q value is going to show up in my workspace. And then I can do another command. I can say sim out. This is a variable. Sim out equals sim. And then here I can type in my Simulink model. And fortunately, it pops that up for me already. So this is just a very simple 2-line M file. I can save it, and I can either go here to run, that will run my model, or I can come here and type in run sim, and it is case sensitive. So either one of those will run this file, which what it's going to do is it's going to populate my MATLAB workspace with this value. My Simulink file has already been set up to recognize that Q as a variable and use that as an input to the transfer function model. And then it's going to output whatever was in this to workspace block. It's going to output that back to my workspace. So I'll go back to here. I'll actually hit run and run this file. So that was quick. It did the whole dynamic simulation model, and wherever it found one of those to workspace blocks, it would spit out a variable here. So I'm gonna stick with this as my M file for now, but I can come here and I can inspect what is actually in this. Whoops. In my commando window, I can type in sim out and just display this variable. I am struggling right there. Okay. There we go. So sim out, this is going to tell me what's in this variable. So this actually creates this object with this structure. So this is telling me my sim out has these various pieces. So it has a t. So remember, that's what I named my output. So that's going to be a 1x1 time series object. And then this t out is my simulation time. So Simulink took 58 time steps. So I'm going to get an array from 0 to my overall simulation time, which was 60. And within that range of time, I'm going to have 58 different elements. So I can go look at what my data actually looks like. So I want to drill down a little bit further. So I have this variable name called sim out. Then to drill down further into this object, I would type in simout.t. And that shows me, okay, t itself is also an object here. And so I have the simout.t, and this has other elements like time and data. So each of those, it records the time here as well, and it also records the data. So I can go and just so you better know what we're looking at, I'll go ahead and plot simout.t.time on the y-axis, simout.t.data. And so we can take a look at what this data looks like. Okay, so everything that's contained in this t vector is now plotted here. So this contains a whole time series. So what we have just done is we have successfully run a Simulink model from a MATLAB script. Let's say that I don't necessarily want to deal with all of that data that I just showed in the plot. Let's look at it again. So let's say maybe I just want my system to get to a steady state, and then I want to grab that last value. So now I can work a little bit with this simout.t.data. I'll display this visually. So here are all the values for all 58 time steps that Simulink took. Let's say I just want to grab the last one. I can type in simout.t.data, and then I can just say end. This will just grab that last value, which should be 24.938. So I can come back to my MATLAB script here, and let's say I want to create a new variable that really just grabs the last value. So I'll just say t at steady state is equal to simout.t.data and the last value of that. So I'm entering a scalar value here for my heat, and it's going to go into the constant block. Simulink is just going to run with this constant amount of heat. As my system heats up and spits out my temperature, it'll send all that data back into my workspace, and I can just grab the last value and have this simple scalar output. So let's look at this again. I'm going to go clear my workspace. I am going to run my simulation again, and it runs the Simulink model, which will be our plant, and it allows me to grab that last data point as a scalar. So if I go here and grab TSS, it's just that same value that we had before. So stay tuned, we're going to keep building on this as we go.